If he act up like I've been saying, y'all gonna see Gervonta Davis get knocked out.
Pay close attention to the man on the right. That's Frank the Ghost Martin. He's a 6-1 underdog going into the fight of his life against Gervonta Davis.
Gervonta said up here moments ago that he wants to hurt you.
He's never felt the warmth of bright lights quite like these. But after a press conference in which both men questioned one another's toughness,
when he came up there, he was shaking. He was just shaking a little bit.
I'm scared. I'm so scared.
Don't worry about it. It's gonna show.
I'm scared as hell.
I know.
he's ready to stare into his opponent's soul to prove he's unfazed by the odds and the occasion.
All right.
That's cool.
All right.
Okay.
Did you just sense that he was nervous?
Yeah,
just a little anxious, maybe?
like he jittery.
They're gonna play games with you. They're gonna play a lot of mental games with you. So you just can't break. You can't fold.
Right.
But Daddy, what you want to see you get slumped right in front of. Okay.
However, it only takes a split second. A fast twitch, subconscious moment of hesitation that saw all of Frank's pre-fight bravado rendered obsolete.
Hey, get that look. It's right there.
Ironically, considering his alias, the ghost seemed spooked.
Probably a little bit, but you know, like my thing ain't to talk and get under nobody's skin. You know, I just go in there and I fight and do what I do.
And while some just saw it as another pre-fight publicity stunt, to others, it was far more. To them, it was a subtle power play on the pre-built tension and a split-second indicator that one man was a lot more comfortable and relaxed than the other.
Right now, he's just in his head. He's in his head rent-free. Kobe didn't flinch. Real ones, no, you never flinch. Brother.
To them, it showed that Martin would fight scared or at least fight cautiously.
You can lie to anybody you want. You can't lie to the man in the mirror. So the only person that know if he's scared or not is Frank Martin.
That he would bite on feints, overreact, and that Tank would be able to get him right where he wants him.
I hope he doesn't come in with that mindset, but even if he does, I still feel like Tank's gonna do his thing. He's gonna knock him out.
Those people on June 15th were proven right. In battle, if you make your opponent flinch, you've already won.
Because he was expending too much energy trying to avoid those punches.
So, with Gervonta Davis putting away his 30th victim to uphold his reign of the lightweight division.
Because he got them shots that if you don't see him, you know, he can get you out, and he's sneaky with it.
We look at an assortment of fighters that flinched and even those who didn't flinch to see if that quote does in fact hold true. So stay calm, take deep breaths, and hold your nerve as we look at the flinch that changed everything.
Every fighter has a weakness. What do you see as Josh's principal weakness?
I'm emotional.
He's emotional. That's it.
Really?
Honestly.
Crossing the pond, when Josh Warrington and Kid Galahad met 5 years prior, the stakes for their featherweight clash were very similar. 2 impressive unbeaten records, a dose of bad blood, and some regional pride.
Cash your mind back a few years back when Ricky Atwood was at the top of his game and he boxed Stephen Smith. And when he was beating Stephen Smith, his dad jumped in the ring and tried to have a go with Ricky.
Darky Smith, the trainer and father, has come into the ring and started manhandling the referee.
Well, just be careful, because, you know, I might get that carried away. I might do the same. You know, if Barry's getting in that position. But it's not going to happen. I just hope your dad didn't jump in. Yeah? All right? Yeah?
Following some verbal low blows and displaying some genuine dislike for one another, the pair would eventually come face to face for the first time. Both suited and booted, Warrington with the belt over his right shoulder. Very little noise, except the flickering of cameras and the occasional heckle. The perfect setting for a premeditated surprise. The The majority of onlookers, much like Tank versus Frank, downplayed the reaction.
Is there a danger though that because of this, you're going to try it a bit too hard, if you know what I mean, when that first bell goes and leave yourself open?
Nope. But again, it was a clear sign of what was to come. Warrington would be the aggressor, forcing the issue. Galahad, the reactor and counterpuncher.
Sharp shooting left hand.
This one was much closer. Both men had their moments and dug deep.
Chopping right hand and another one as Warrington steps on the gas.
But ultimately, a messy fight featuring warnings and some questionable tactics.
Putting his man in a headlock and preventing him from working away.
Resulted in a split decision victory, as once again, albeit controversial for some, the provocateur prevailed.
And still, featherweight champion of the world by the skin of his teeth.
It seemed like there was genuine hate before the fight, but I saw you afterwards sort of touch gloves, etc. So yeah, it's all squashed now.
Madison Square Garden, what a place. Whether you're in the theatre or the big arena, this place just puts chills down your spine.
A few months later, we got a glimpse of how it shouldn't be done.
Michael, the Bounty Hunter.
Since losing to Alexander Usyk as a cruiserweight,
He's in danger to get knocked out. Yep.
Michael Hunter was on a redemption path and wanted to prove his worth amongst the biggest men in the sport.
Usyk beat Mike for the cruiserweight title. Mike gonna beat Usyk for the heavyweight title.
He'd already beaten some frightening figures in Ustinov and Bakole en route, opponents that made his latest obstacle, Sergey Kuzmin, appear far less daunting.
Hard for him to get fights in the heavyweight division, you know, and
you hear me?
That's right.
I want you to break this nose. No, for real. You don't break this nose, you're not allowed back in New York.
That's right, that's right. I'll take it.
It was another pre-fight presser on the Haney Abdullayev undercard, and whilst this one was much more tame, the Russian stepped out of character, eager to gain that all-important pre-fight advantage.
On Friday he'll feel and he'll understand what Russian willpower and character is all about.
A failure to intimidate the smaller man, that would also play into the fight.
Back there by a right hand.
Hunter was not one to be rattled and held his nerve where it mattered too, dropping Kuzmin in the fifth.
He was strong with his hands, you know, as far as keeping a tight guard. So, you know, I just got to find some different ways to crack that open.
Some overconfidence saw the American punished momentarily, but slick work and a refusal to be bullied ensured a landslide decision over 12.
And the new WBA Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion.
That'll really get me right where I want to be as far as, you know, continuing to stake my claim. You know what I'm saying? That I'm one of the baddest people on this planet as far as when it comes to the hands.
Los nervios. Mentalidad de campeón. 3 semanas. Así es como te gustan a ti los boxeadores. 3 semanas.
Another supposed demolition job came at the end of 2022 when Sandor Martin stepped up to face Teofimo Lopez at 3 weeks' notice.
My point of strong is my mind. That's my best. ¿Cómo se llama? My best weapon.
Lopez was refinding his feet after underperforming against Cambuses, but Martin was another rough and ready character with nothing to lose and everything to gain.
The only surprise I think everybody's really gonna see is just like how better did I get from my first career loss, my failure. You know, I think that really you never really lose. The only time you ever really lose is when you quit, when you say no mas.
Noticeably more humble, a motivated Teofimo left a good impression at the presser. But when the pair met outside, away from the main stage, a minute-long face-off and some trash-talking interjections presented another perfect opportunity.
You like the kiss?
Yeah. Creo que en todos los face-off me he metido en su cabeza. Él sabe que estoy en su mente
no se lo puede quitar, esta noche va a ir a dormir.
This time it bore little relevance. Martin fought bravely and made life extremely difficult.
He kept on getting caught by Sandor Martin's check right hook. Like, he kept eating it.
2 check right hooks made it look like another upset might even be on the cards.
That is being scored a knockdown.
Ultimately, Teofimo did prevail, but it didn't really feel that way after another lackluster performance.
A round that makes a difference in this fight.
As he stood slumped against the ropes, the dejected superstar thought aloud in a deep moment of self-reflection.
And on Saturday, November 25th, Showtime pay-per-view is really delivering you what we like to call a Thanksgiving weekend feast.
Equally controversial and unpredictable, the following November saw Gervonta Charlo back on boxing's main stage.
Hey, look, I'm feeling better. I'm in the better space. Got better people around me. New day. Yeah. New day.
So,
new dawn.
Speaking of which, I think you're training with Roy Jones Jr. Is this going to be the best Charlo you've ever seen?
This is going to be the best Charlo you've ever seen.
With a fiery dance partner in Jose Benavidez Jr. and some more simmering bad blood, this one was entertaining every step of the way.
He said what he had to say. You know, it is what it is. He's shook. He gonna do this and he gonna do that. He's shook.
I'm gonna show you who the big dog is. So.
Ain't nothing, bro. You just all talk, bro.
I'm not all talk. You're the one who swerving when I see you in Vegas. Stop acting like you don't remember.
After being kept apart throughout the buildup, for good reason, the weigh-ins finally hit boiling point, and with Charlo missing weight by a disrespectful 4 pounds, an understandably angry Benavidez Jr., who was already coming up in weight, made his frustrations clear. Adding insult to injury, Charlo mocked the half-hearted intimidation attempt.
I would look at him, and he would look at me for a little bit, and look somewhere else. I mean, I'm gonna take his soul. That's what I'm gonna do.
A lack of discipline on the scales was then overshadowed by Benavidez's lack of discipline in the fight. And using that untamed aggression in his favor, the Texan shook Benavidez in the opener.
Big right hand there by Charlo, and Charlo has hurt Benavidez for the first time in the fight.
And never really let up.
You know, he used to get nasty than that when he fight. I thought he could have probably knocked him out. You know what I mean, if he had let his hands go more.
The knockout never came, but it was a shutout victory for Charlo.
What did you guys tell each other after?
I just told him I'll beat his ass. I'll beat your ass. Yeah, ain't nothing you can do. I'll beat your ass. Then he came back to the back of the locker room and was like, yeah, you beat my ass. No, I told you.
At the end of the day, all underdog means is a bunch of people who don't know what I could do. Danny Garcia wins because he's better, and he's the true champion. And come Saturday night, I'm going to show that. Thank you.
Another huge clash of characters on U.S. soil came back in 2017 when Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman put their pride, their word, and their unbeaten records on the line.
Your boy Keith, one time Thurman got this. One time, all the time. KOs for life. Danny Garcia, you're getting knocked out.
Hold up, Philly. If y'all want to see me whip this guy's ass, make some noise. Oh yeah? Prove it, baby. Prove it, baby. You don't want to miss this March 4th. Danny Garcia for Keith. One time.
We'll see how he talks when his son is laying down in a blue mat. We'll see. He gonna try, bro. I know. He gonna try.
The problem for Danny, despite his dad's fierce backing, is that Thurman really took some beating on the microphone.
We got Thurman. You got Thurman. You could have had me tonight, boy. You could have had me tonight. It don't matter which night. You're never gonna be all right.
So after 2 blazing press conferences and a handful of heated altercations, it was all about marginal gains, and desperate times called for desperate measures. Ice cold, not even the flicker of an eyelid, Thurman looked at Garcia like dinner. And carrying that same energy into the opener, Keith started far more confidently and far more dangerously.
Move.
Told you guys that he throws wide. I want to throw wide too. I want to show him, like, you know, you swing, I swing.
Both men had their moments, but Thurman's right hand was cooking all night, and his composure, refusal to get drawn in, and the extra layers to his game secured him a close-fought victory.
He is still undefeated. One time!
Like I say, I've been around him a long time, and his head goes, he flaps, he's a flapper. He's a bully as well. And when the bully gets bullied, it's not working for him. After round 3, he'll be flapping, he'll be going under.
Another unexpected moment came as two old acquaintances met on the Smith-Eubank undercard. Former friends and training partners, Mark Heffron and Jack Cullen, were bumping heads for a British title and for Lancashire pride.
At the end of the day, as like it said there, I am the underdog, and I'm going to come in and just put the performance of my life on.
Jack's a good fighter, gets involved a lot, and I feel like he makes a lot of mistakes, and I'll make him pay.
Heffron was a clear-cut favorite, but his old stablemate had a chip on his shoulder and seemed to know something we didn't.
So that's the plan. So round 3 is getting stuck on him.
The initial face-off was friendly enough, but by the weigh-in, after claiming his KO intentions, Heffron wanted to lay it on thick. Unfazed, the underdog didn't budge. A 10-8 round before the first bell even rang, and a dose of confidence that carried toward Cullen's in-ring demeanor as he called the smaller man's bluffs on fight night too.
He's really looked for right hand into the midriff there from him.
Yeah, the mark was a bit over eager there in 1-4. Good body shot from Cullen there.
As an aggressive Heffron swung wildly, looking for that overhand left, Natasha Jonas called it perfectly.
He's loading a little bit. You know, he knows he can punch. He's got to control his emotions a bit better. He's a bit annoyed that he was caught.
Good jab there from Cullen, and then a left hand on the inside. Sets it big.
The plan was, since the day we were going to fight Mark, is put the weight on the back foot, and then when he comes in, counter him.
An enormous shot and a sizable upset saw the more composed man prevail once again.
There has been, quite frankly, all I can describe to you as a terrorization of Logan Paul's life.
All's fair in love and war, you know what I mean? But I think for him, it's just been relentless, man.
It'll be annoying to some of you that this is even featured on here, but let's just call it research.
Yeah, you melt in front of people, huh?
Why'd you copy my haircut?
Wear sunglasses inside, afraid to show your face.
I'll show my face, don't worry.
Let's see it.
I'm gonna break your face on Saturday.
Let's see, bro. I want to see you try.
Logan versus Dylan and KSI versus Tommy were two fights that pretty much revolved around trash talk. A bizarre crossover that saw two social media stars turned boxers facing off against two established but heavily criticized fighters.
100%, buddy. Be a good night for us. Mate, I'm going in there to put on a show.
Oh, trust me.
Put on a show, mate.
I'll knock him out, then you knock him out.
Oh, 100%.
Then we go party out.
Were you trying to make him emotional so that he wouldn't fight smart on Saturday?
He's not a smart fighter either way. He doesn't know how to fight, so I'm going to show him what real fighting is.
On the undercard, Dannis attacked Logan throughout the build-up, with months of below-the-belt social media posts. When the pair met in person, though, the talk wasn't quite as tough.
Bro, I'm gonna embarrass you. I swear to God, I'm gonna embarrass you.
Okay, bro.
I can't wait.
You know what the odds are?
I don't care about the odds, bro.
Flinching at the face-to-face, in which Logan struggled to contain his frustration, Dannis's persona took a split-second retreat.
Yeah, go try. Yeah, try. See what happens. You'll took out on the second.
Punches are good over the hits, okay? Please. Hey. Here we go.
And where his Twitter fingers didn't really live up to the hype in person, They certainly didn't do him any favors in the ring.
You know, I'm all about the talking and the trash talk, but you can't say you're going to rip somebody's head off and then not throw a punch.
With Dylan tentative and scared to let his hands go, Logan dominated the entirety of the fight.
Logan wants to engage. Dylan Dannis needs to engage.
The MMA star even blundered an attempt to takedown in the final round to summarize a pretty dismal main event.
If I say stop, you stop whatever you're doing, and you're listening for my commands. Touch gloves in the sport of boxing. Touch gloves.
In the main event, KSI made a pretty awful attempt at that exact same across-the-table taunt.
October 14th, live on the Zone pay-per-view. You heard it here as well. 6 rounds.
Tommy didn't move a muscle. He looked straight through JJ's facade to add another awkward moment to the list in one of the most unconventional boxing shows of all time.
I thought you was going to do that as well.
What was that about? There's no flinching out of me, mate.
Tommy Fury's mission to end crossover boxing as we know it. He wants to destroy everything KSI has created.
Fury wasn't rattled in the fight either, but it was another strange spectacle with both men promising a lot and offering very little.
You will not make it out of round 3.
Oh, it's round 3.
Round 3.
You won't be able to deal with it. Have you seen my pace?
I won't be able to deal with it.
I didn't take it away,
man. You know, hold on.
And whilst the knockout that the majority expected never came, Fury would get the better of a messy fight with a ton of holding and not enough punching.
KSI lands a right. Tommy trying to bat him off with a half minute to go. Just as I said that, he lands a right hand. I'm going to give this to KSI. I think it was 3-3, but you take the point deduction. I think KSI wins the fight.
Tommy! Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way, bro.